Are you interested in social housing, but you don't know how it works, how the investment and the return works? If you want to find out more, I'm going to go in depth into a deal that I've invested in recently. I'm going to disclose all the numbers and the strategy on a spreadsheet so you can see it all right in front of you. If you're a visual type of person, this will be great for you. So keep watching this video and I'll see you soon. Right, let's get right into it, shall we? The rent to the landlord here, £410. The deposit, now normally refurbishments to get the property to the correct standard for the social housing provider take a few months, about 90 days. So a little upfront sweetener to the landlord is needed so they're not out of pocket for that time. So that's your deposit. The sourcing fee, this is the fee that I paid to the rent to social housing sourcing company. So I used a company that presented me with this deal and I paid them a fee to have the deal and be able to invest in it. They charge a fee to set up these deals, which is how they make their money, basically. I actually partner with this exact company now to help people like you, I guess, if you're watching this, to find these sorts of investments. Refurbishment and setup costs. It speaks for itself, how much it's going to cost to get the property up to standard. That's 18,600. Total setup costs here, so that's everything. There's no furniture or photography needed doing because the social housing provider looks after the furniture and they don't need to dress and stage it or need photographs because they're not advertising it. They already have tenants waiting to be housed. The contract term, this is how long my investment will be for. My monthly payment stops after the 60th month. Then if we come up here to the number of rooms. So number of rooms, there's 4 rooms in this HMO property. Average rent, how much the social housing provider pay on average for each room. Average occupancy. Now, if I were on a normal rent to rent and the tenant was not a social housing provider, this number could fluctuate. But with a social housing provider, I'm signed up to a long-term lease, and in this case, it's 5 years. Even if this property isn't tenanted, the social housing provider are contracted with me for 5 years and contracted to pay me for the 5 years. So if there's any voids and stuff, it doesn't matter because my tenant is the social housing provider. They've signed up for the 5 years. Potential monthly income and real monthly income. The potential monthly income would change if I changed the average occupancy. But as I know it's going to be 100%, I can leave it at 915. So my monthly income is £915. This is my capital being returned plus my interest. So capital plus my interest. Holding costs and HMO bills, you don't need to worry about this with a rent to social housing, or at least on the rent to social housing contract that we are on, because the social housing provider look after the bills, voids and maintenance costs. With a standard rent to rent, I'd have to think about holding costs like this, insurance, bills, letting agent fees, voids and maintenance, etc. And this can really rack up. Letting agents normally charge 10 to 12%, and you should be putting away about 10 to 15% for voids and maintenance a month, which is a big chunk of your budget being eaten up there. Additionally, in a HMO, the landlord normally pays the bills, but in this case, it's all dealt with by the social housing provider, so no extra costs here for me. Now let's just drop down to the easily digestible numbers. Right, I'm just going to start on the right-hand side here. So all the cash required, let me go back to the left. All the cash required is just here, £24,600, okay? Now, I've got the total income at 915, the total rental income at £915, and return on cash employed, which basically means the return on my investment, and it's shown in a percentage figure. I have been around property long enough to know that 24.6 return or 24.6 ROI, return on investment, is a fantastic return, which is why I snapped this deal up within about 24 hours of seeing it. In my opinion, anything above 15% return on investment is a very good return. And when you start achieving numbers that are in excess of 17.5%, you are really onto a proper winner. So when 24.63% came to me, I thought, well, I've got to take it. Is it too good to be true? Is the first thing I thought. And I had to do a fair bit of due diligence, but I took the plunge, I took action, arguably took a risk, but more of a calculated, mitigated risk. And now this deal is mine and has been now for, I think, about 6 or 7 months. These two numbers, the net profit and the return on cash employed, are the most important figures to me, as it shows me visually how hard my money is working. Now, all these rent to social housing deals fluctuate in their returns for two main reasons. Every landlord will have a different property, so their payment will be slightly different, and every social housing provider will have a slightly different tenant they need to house, or it will be in a different location, so their budget changes. So not all of the social housing deals are quite as strong as this one. This is right at the top end, but most are sitting around 17, 18%, or even more in a lot of cases. If you are not that clued up on some of the language I'm using here, like net profit, return on cash employed, or return on investment, let me try and simplify it just a little bit. So the net profit, £505 a month. That's how much I net a month. Net is pure profit. So after all my expenses and everything, how much I purely make from this deal, 505. A year, that's 505 times 12. I'm making £6,060 a year. And times that by 5, because I've got this for 5 years, that's £30,300 pure profit that I make from this investment over those 5 years, plus my £24,600. So at the end of it all, I get paid 54,900 quid. Depending on how you look at it, depends on when you think you get your original investment back. So when do I actually make back that £24,600? It's a good question. So £24,600 divided by 915, which is the net income before I pay the landlord. So that basically, the net income before landlord. Not necessarily true before landlord. I need to change the how it's written here. £915 is actually how much falls into my bank account a month, but I am being paid back my capital and my interest, as I mentioned earlier. So anyway, £24,600 divided by 915 equals 20. It's probably going to be backwards. Yeah, 26.8. So in 26.8 months, let's round it up to 27 months. In 27 months, I'll be paid back my £24,600, and everything after that is profit. After that month, everything that I'm receiving back is profit, and there's 60 months in a 5-year calendar, so that's a long way to go. So 34 months worth of pure profit. How I see it is I'm getting paid £915 here back into my bank account, and my original investment, if I knock that off, what that would be monthly, my pure profit and my net profit each month is 505. So that's how I see it. Now, all these rent to social housing deals, I mean, are strong that we work on. And right now, literally right now, I'm looking for investors with a minimum of 16 grand. You will invest your money over 3 years, and at the end of that 3 years, you will earn £8,500 pure profit. Even better, you can do more than one of these deals at a time, as long as it's, you've got 16 grand or 32 grand or a multiple of 16 on these particular deals. The biggest drawback is that these deals are with investors right now and they go super quick. So if you want to get involved, you have to act quickly, take some action. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I would say to contact me in the description below. I'll leave all my contact details so we can set up a call. If you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, just drop me a DM and I'll be right back to you with a link so you can book a call in with me and we can discuss this further. But I can't stress enough that you've actually got to act fast. These deals will genuinely not be available, and the people who take action first will be the one reaping the rewards, and whoever's sipping on a Baileys and eating a mince pie over Christmas will not. So don't be one of those people that is going to sit back and not take some serious action. I'm telling you now, last time, they will go. The popularity of them is just getting higher and higher, and we are putting these sorts of deals in front of more investors. Some sit on the contracts for a bit too long and actually miss out. If you like this deal, we chat, and then it gets to the point where you want to invest and see a contract. If you're not signing the contract within a couple of days, the deal is gone, because the people that are reading through the contracts, getting back hold of us and letting us answer any queries they have, once that's done with, they're signing and we're getting the ball rolling to get that money in their account as efficiently as possible. So if you like this, like I said, on YouTube, I'll leave my details in the description below. On TikTok and Instagram, you can just DM me and I'll make sure to get back to you with a calendar link. We can book in a 20-minute, no obligation, free consultation call, and I can run you through how these social housing deals work, how we can build up a pot of nice cash flow for you and start making some money through property together. Thanks for watching. As always, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you have got some value from this. Particularly comment, because I love to hear all your questions. I might have glossed over some of the things on this spreadsheet that I've understood for a while, so I didn't go through them in enough detail. If there's anything else you want to know about the spreadsheet or about what I spoke about, make sure you comment or get in touch in some way, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. All right, see you later.